If you believe in something and you have firsthand experience, it's not hard to ask. I didn't know that was something I could do, but you give people the opportunity for their life to be enriched. If they choose to be a part of this, then the momentum builds. I have been a volunteer with Habitat since 1988. I was a member of Peachtree Presbyterian Church, and our senior pastor, Frank Harrington, came to me as chair of the Community Concerns Committee and said, "You're going to make a motion for $100,000 to be given to Habitat International to build 20 houses with Jimmy Carter." So I did, and the church agreed to give a $100,000, and with that we were able to purchase all the land that the 20 homes would be built on. I chaired the volunteers for that very first house. It's the first all-church project our church had ever done, and we just had lots of folks come forward that say, "I want to be a part of this." And so we built this house right here at 1508 Foot Street. President Carter dedicated this house. It was the way of announcing to the larger community that we were going to do a Carter Work project here. The impact of getting to know the homeowner was the thing that made me know this is where I belong. This is what I needed to be doing with my volunteer time. We met Evelyn Jackson, and she told me that she lived across the street from this site, and she'd been told that even though she was a housekeeper and on housekeeper's wages, she would qualify for Habitat House. And so I was her homeowner partner. So together we went through the building project. And I would have to say 35 years later, she was my most treasured friends. When her daughter Krishana got married, we were invited to the wedding. And I was so honored to be part of that wedding and be part of their lives. And that continued as life went on. The year my mother died, I remember going to church, and there was a poinsettia that was given by Evelyn in memory of my mother. And I was just, she knew how to give and take and be a part of our life. It wasn't all, one way, and we just stayed friends always. And now I can carry that on with her daughter, Krishana. I've made so many friends through Habitat, and I think other volunteers would say the same. That's one of you do, as a volunteer, you do things for others, but you do it for yourself too. When I first started with Habitat, the warehouse was a truck, was Gilbert Nicholson's truck, and things were delivered on site the day of the build for that build because we had no place to store them. So the tools that he brought were what we had. Sometimes something gets in your heart and you know what's right. Alan will remember this day very clearly. On the very first women's house, all women's house, it was a very rainy, cold, nasty day, and I said to him, "Why do I do this? I don't have to get up and do this." And he said, "Go ahead and go. You'll come home and you'll say, 'I've had such a great day.'" Well, I surprised him that day because I came home and I said, "I've had such a great day. I want to quit my job and volunteer for Habitat full time," because it's very clear to me if I can give my effort, we can grow from 25 to 50 houses in a year, and that's something we wanted to do. And there was a lot of change needed to happen, and I have a master's degree in public administration, so I thought, I think I could help. I think I could make a difference. Together we prayed about it and thought about it, and that's what I did. So I was vice chair of the board, the Habitat board, and then became chair during the Olympics. Millard Fuller was very eager for us to make an important contribution to the Olympics, and what we could do is build houses. So the board thought about it, and one of the things they decided was, yes, we'll build 100 houses, but we'll build them in 2 years, and we'll build every house within sight of an Olympic venue. So that stretched us to go to different neighborhoods and begin to build houses. During those 2 years, I learned to tell the Habitat story loud and clear and to raise a lot of money. We had to raise a lot of money to make that happen, but people were generous. They wanted to be a part. They were excited about what was happening. And once the Olympics was over, my whole life changed. I became a fundraiser as a professional. So I had an opportunity to join an organization that also had HUD housing, affordable housing in it, and to tell their story. And I didn't know that was my calling, but it turned out to be. So see, in many ways, my personal family and our lives changed had I not said yes to Habitat.